Okay. It seems like it's a second. It took me a couple minutes to find this. Find this. So I looked through the chaparral bush with the full moon coming through. This is what I saw under the chaparral bush. I looked at it and I said, this is the only rock I was really even looking at. I was too dark to find anything else. So this is the only rock that I was able to look at. And in my mind, I said, gee, that looks like a pyramid rock. If it only had a hole in it, you know, I went over, picked up the rock. This is what I saw. You can't make this stuff. You're lying. You made this stuff up. Yeah, okay. I've used it ever since for he want I use it for my rosemary, all the harder things that I like to grind up. My point being, when I got up to the cave, I was the last one. They had the fire going, and okay, I'll go into all that because there's so many other things that happen in that cave. But when I show I and nobody, they all had a rock, but it had, see, this one doesn't have any holes, uh, like, you know, like lava rock has these kind of holes, to where usually this or something are in here. I don't know if you can see all that stuff there. It's totally smooth, totally. Nobody had anything close, let alone they didn't find anything. So when I showed him that, his eyes opened up like saucers. He did that a few times on me. Now I'll tell you why on that stuff too. But this guy, I didn't know until later that he was testing us on a lot of different levels. That's what I'm saying. He did some healings and stuff, which I understood how that went too, because I told you about my second spiritual teacher. And yeah, anyway, everybody can do it anyway. But I'm just saying, it's where your thought is, your intent, because both sides can do it. But again, as I said, it'll last much longer when it's from your heart and for everyone, rather than the greedy side of just doing it for yourself and for some kind of gain. The okay, I won't tell you the whole thing, but I got to tell you the dream that I had, because that went with this. But I can't do that either, can I? Yes, I can. Okay, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm just going to be little bits and pieces because it's so much even better than this. I go to sleep, and I have a dream. I'm in a cave, and I have a dream that I'm inside another cave. A cave inside of a cave is my dream. And in that dream, I had two bags of goodies. I had the goodies that I just love forever. You know, I had one, the mushrooms and peyote. The squaws kept feeding me these mushrooms that just melted in your mouth, and these guys just kept giving me the buttons. And what a combo, right? The dream was that I wasn't going to let go of this bag forever, and this bag was full of the what they call medicine now. You growers, you know what I'm talking about, and probably half the other world does too. So I had both these bags in my dream, in the cave that I'm dreaming about, and I'm in the cave, and up around the corner, right around the corner, is this like really bright light, you know. But I can't see it. All I can see is the around the corner part. So I keep with my bags, my goodies. I wasn't going to let them go for nothing. Even in the dream, I knew how I wanted these. They weren't going anywhere. So I kept going around the corner, and the light now was around that corner, so I had to go around that corner. I promise you, it had to be, it felt like an hour of the dream, to where finally I kept going around here and around there and around here, and the light is like still very bright, but I'm getting so close, and then all of a sudden it's moving around here, and then a voice comes and says, um, with my hands on the baggies, the goodies that I had, and the voice says, what you are searching for is but a reflection. It is not the source. You will never find the source, you will only find the reflection. I let go of the bags. And then I woke up. What that was telling me a lot of things on different levels. Some of you can see what I'm talking about. Some of you can't. Some of you can. Maybe you can. But it was an awakening for me. And that was just that little dream. Okay, so since we were on dreams, I can just leave all that stuff around. And I didn't even get to any of the real cool stuff yet, really. That's what I'm saying, man. This just keeps getting better, I'm telling you. So I will just leave all that aside. I had to do that just to tell you kids, whoever's out there that can really kind of see where I'm coming from. Anything, I think that's what the dream was saying too. Anything because these are the things that you need to raise your consciousness, see? And that was part of the dream, saying those things are not necessary, is basically it. Those things are just the reflection. You might think it's something. It is something. It's a reflection. It's not the source. So by grabbing these goodies, you're only going to get the reflection. You will never get the source. And I find that so very interesting, and probably some other things too, but we can't go there right now. I just wanted to say that was a dream that you could take or leave, bad. But there was one, I said there was a ton that I had saved my life, so I got to jump back to 74. I'm on top. Anybody back east, you know what I'm talking about. The platforms where the train comes in. You're standing on the platform, then you get into the passenger cars, and then from there, there's usually a green lamp post that goes up. It goes up, and then it kind of hooks over as the light coming out and all that. Okay, on the railroad, you can't, if you're a brakeman like I was, and we were on one of the side tracks of that whole platform thing, and I was told, no matter what, do not lose contact with your eye to the engineer, no matter what. So I was left behind. One of the guys jumped, there was the engineer. He had his eyes because it was going around the corner that way. And there was the next brakeman. It was like 250 car, it was long, 250 cars. So the next guy's in the middle, and I could see I'm the hind end guy. The caboose is still not even coming. But the idea was I was supposed to give a stop sign when they get past the board. And I had to never lose ever sight of somebody down there. So as they were getting around the corner, all of a sudden the caboose goes by and it goes past the main light. And I'm supposed to give a stop sign, but they can't see me. I'm on the platform, So I had to climb up the pipe. I was a great climber, as you know, and then I was standing on top of this lamp. Okay, so we'll stop there. And the night before, this is the dream that I had. I was dreaming that I climbed up a pine tree, and I got to the top of the pine tree, and as I was reaching up for the limbs, some termites ate away this limb and ate away this limb, and I was falling out of the tree, and the voice said, relax. I wake up in a cold sweat, thinking, oh my God, this is a warning dream. Okay, now we're back to the lamp post. I am now on top of the overhand lamp, and I have my foot here and foot here, and I have a fusee, one of those lit fusees they call them. They don't go out even in the water. I mean, they're fantastic. So I lit one of those, I'm okay, and then I'm going like this and this, they can't see me, and all of a sudden I go like this, and I'm gonna go over 15 feet down, if not more. And I look, there's glass, there's railroad spikes down there. There's nothing but a plank about this big, this thick, and it's 12 foot long. And that's when the voice says, relax. And I said, wow, that seems to be the dream I just had last night. I said, relax, huh? Yeah, okay. So I relaxed. And as I'm falling down now, I relaxed, and I was thinking, well, I got one place to land here. That's in the middle of the plank. I land right in the middle of the plank, and the plank perfectly in the middle, and it goes, it cracked it, but it still held my weight. But it cracked the whole 12-foot plank. Talking about a railroad big thick plank. So my point being, if I didn't have that dream, kids, I think I would have had a different atmosphere of going down the distance that I did. So warning dreams are warning dreams, whether you want to take them or not. And that was just one of the other many that I had from getting coupled up in between the cars. That happens a lot. They say when that happens, in fact, they even told me, when that happens, kid, you know, we'll have to go get the bag, and we'll call your wife in. You have your cigarette, you know, have some candy, and then, you know, say your piece, have the reverend come in, and then we got to give the go ahead, and then you're in the bag. That's how they told it to me. I said, that doesn't sound very positive, does it? You know, so that's why you got 30 days to live on this railroad, and if you make it, it's going to be much more positive for you. So that was told within my first 2 weeks, and there was a dream on that one too. Anyway, I turned around. See, you're always supposed to get a signal, but somebody was drinking up on the not the engineer side, but the other side. The guy was gurgling away, and apparently he gave a signal to the guy, and he wasn't supposed to. And they were coming up together. And then I remembered the dream. I instead of looking behind me, I just stepped. And as soon as I stepped out, boom, they coupled up, and then everything moved. And I said, oh man, that dream, that was the other warning dream that I had. So when I got out, like I'm only like 18 years old, I got up the 20 cars I had to get up to. I said, who gave that signal? I can give a signal. And the engineer says, well, and the guy's going. I picked him up off the seat, and I was ready to, I was ready to break rule number 1. And then I said, no arm wrestling. Then I thought, gee, man, this guy's been drinking. He's a slob. And I just said, you know, when we get out of here, just go in the caboose and sleep it off, buddy boy. And that's how that went. But there's so many things that happened during that first month that I wouldn't be here sitting talking to you if I didn't have those dreams. So I'm just saying, it's just not a bunch of poo-poo, Uncle Martin saying. All this stuff is really happened to me, and you can believe it or not. You can't I guess you could make this stuff up. I don't have that great imagination, really. I just go with the truth, and that way, if anybody asks me, I can tell you the story 1,000 times the same way. You know, I mean, it's not going to change any. I could probably even tell you a little bit more on it, if anything. I'm just keeping it kind of short right now. I just got so much time with you guys, you know. There's so many things in our life that can be avoided when we see that there's symbology on so many levels that come your way, like that little small voice that says, it's not a big loud voice. I'd be careful on those. The small voice that you really can't even hear, it just says, pick up the gloves, pick up the gloves. And that's another one. I was getting on my motorcycle, and it was like summertime or something, you know, and I don't know where the gloves were, what were they were doing out, leather gloves with fur stuff inside, and the little voice says, pick up your gloves, put your gloves on. I was like, I don't wear gloves, and I grabbed them anyway, and I put them on. So I was going, I guess it just rained. I was going, so I knew there was a 90-degree turn up around a corner, and I slowed it down like 5-6 miles an hour. But when I went around the 90-degree turn, I hit a patch of wet leaves. My whole bike fell under me, and I went head first on the pavement, sliding on my hands. And when I stopped and I looked, all I saw was fingers. There was all the glove part on top, but I saw my fingers. My fingers would have been looking a little different if I didn't have my gloves. There's so many little things that you get warnings on, and it's a matter of you being able to listen, to have your ears, your inner ear, inner eye, to see and hear And that's all Uncle Martin's saying. We all have it. We all have this attunement. As again, I said, we all are telepathic. We're all empaths, all of us. It's just to know that you can do these things. And by the way, I might as well just hit my second spiritual teacher, Lee. Uh, I meet the guy, and it was through Artie Schwarzenegger. No, not I'll be back. I didn't know there was another Artie Schwarzenegger, truthfully, until later on that there was the actor. But I'm talking about anybody in Shrewsbury, New Jersey, or maybe Red Bank. I don't know if he's moved. He's got family and kids. And Artie Schwarzenegger, not the actor, anybody, please get a hold of me. This guy, yeah, definitely a soul brother, man. I'll tell you that. I mean, a brother with, no, he's white, but he's a, you know what I mean? Soul. We're all connected soul. All of us are soul brothers and sisters. Come on, man, give me a break. Everybody has a connection. We all have that inner light within us. And it's just to see it here, and see it here, see it here. See it in everyone you see. And once you see that spark, even if it's a small little spark, you can fan it to where that spark is brighter, rather than looking at somebody like they're, you know, whatever negative thing you want to say. And I refuse, because even the most negative people here can be positive on whenever they choose to be, or not, as any side is. That's what I'm saying. You can't judge anyone, because everyone has a shot here. I'm saying everybody can come together here on Planet Terrific, and we can make this work. I promise you, if we just get together on some level, being a little more kind. I'm so serious on this. I can't get that across more to you. I'm telling you cute little stories, but it really does come down to that. That little spark everybody has in their eye. And then when you don't take another, that spark is gone. That's what I'm talking about. That light that's in everyone, and you can either amplify it or decrease it by calling someone stupid, or calling them a name, whatever they're doing, whatever they're believing. They got things to learn. You can't judge anybody. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. As far as even hurting someone's feelings, I'm so serious on that. It really does come down to that. You can walk through a store. See, remember on my fourth grade, on my I didn't even get to my first fourth grade. Remember that big leader guy? And when he got me and threw me, and I caught myself, and it said to Dad up at dinner, I said, Dad, you know, that the leader, he pushed me. Mom said, the hood? And then Dad says, what's Dad's first word he said to me? Did you look at him wrong? No, Dad. Did you say something to him? No, Dad. So what I'm saying, kids, you don't have to say, you can just look at somebody. You can just say, or whatever, or even say something more than that. You are starting to rule number one, starting a fight that I say is going to be negative. You can do it, but it's going to be negative. Follow Uncle Martin's 4 rules. 4, I've been through them too many times. Look back, somebody, if you don't know the rules. I can't go there again. If you follow these rules, I was able to get through all 20 of my schools, as you well know by now, I would imagine. But somebody's always going to turn in. I know there's someone out there just tuning in for the first time. Fine. And I don't even want you to go back to the beginning. Forget about it. If I haven't told you anything right now that you can work with, this is not for you, all right? Just keep on going your merry way, because I don't care. And I'm very concerned, but I don't care, all right? It's always up to us if we, through a store or whatever. You know, I had some big guy today. He was walking by and he was looking real mean at me. And I could have returned that, because, you know, I can handle myself and everything. But I had an option of, you know, I couldn't even look mean at him. I just said, I looked at him, I said, oh, you're looking at me mean, huh? I said, I went like, hey, brother, what's going on? Hey, brother. I didn't even say anything. I just said, hey, man, like a hello, an acknowledgement, hello, you know, not wide-eyed. It was, yeah. And he changed his whole face. His face from wanting to look like he had a bad day. Or maybe he was going to take it out on me. I don't know. But he was directing that kind of face at me, and I could have went one side or the other, right? Absolutely. And so can you. You can do the same thing. You could entertain that energy or diffuse that energy. It's always up to you kids, kindergartners, grammar school, high school, college, all you people with more experience in life. It's always up to us. Always. And I'm just saying, see, that would be more kindness to look like, even out. I say it all the time. Hey, brother, how's it going? I don't care what color you are. You're all my brothers, man. And I swear. I don't swear. I got to get rid of that. Swearing is cursing, so I don't swear. I'm trying to keep the cosmic humor here. There's always ways of taking a situation where you can exasperate, intensify it, or nullify it. Because nobody really wants to try to fight you if you're looking at them saying, hey, brother, how's it going? Because they're going to think, hey, man, this guy isn't against me, and I've had a crummy day, and this guy's saying hello, man. Hey, that's pretty cool. And maybe that's another thing. It might be just that smile or recognition that's going to turn that whole thing around for this person that's having a real negative day, There's just so many ways of looking at it. You can do that or not. It's always your free choice. Boy, is it ever? Yes, it is. It's like when reason is our mind. Our mind is reason. So when reason reigns, when it reigns supreme, then inconsistency, it cannot exist. That's what it comes down to. So, what are we thinking? How are we applying what we think? It always comes down to your thoughts, your words, and how your actions are. Some great person said that, your thought, word, and deed. We're all accountable for it, And when people hear that, no, I'm not accountable for that. Well, I believe that is how karma works. If you're thinking about something, and you're talking about something, and you're doing something, it's reactions that we got to get a little more control of, or not. We can be out of control, but what happens afterwards? How does your heart feel about it? What happens when you get like that really extreme anger of hatred or immense fear? You tap into something. It's going to be on that level, by the way. And all you're doing is feeding that energy, And then after, especially if you're angry, hatred-wise, and you're screaming and yelling and whatever, you've tapped into a whirlwind. It ain't heaven for sure. And it goes up and it comes down to you. And then you feel that extra force, that extra energy, the electric, I think it's a negative electric for sure. And that energy just goes through you. And boy, does that tear up your body and the whole movie on you. But then afterwards, it kind of leaves you kind of empty. You're saying, "Oh man, why did I do that? Why did I do that?" That's because you didn't have that chair and whip for that lion that you let go wild and crazy. Which I'm going to throw lines out there just for the heck of it. Not that I apparently enjoy a lion now and then, but a lion, not a lion. They did statistics in Africa. The people get eaten by a lion, and it was to where in the villages, they checked out different villages, and these statistics seem to be overwhelmingly in this category. I don't want to say old. The people with the most experience were sitting around. All the kids were sitting around. The middle people were running around. They were the ones that were getting eaten. The other two groups, nothing was going on. So there's two ways of looking at it. Either the ones with all the experience saying, well, we can't get away, so we might as well just forget about it. And so their fear was at the lowest it would be, much lower than, and then the other kids, they were so young and small, they had no clue about being in fear of anything yet. Was that a coincidence? if you heard about all the, just a couple of the fear situations that I had to deal with, when I heard about it, it just made too much sense to me. That and then the other thing, there was other African tribes. These kids had to be men, so they got a spear and they had to go out and kill a lion. But before they did that, they had to get a rock, and then they smashed out the four bottom teeth. Right, that was the other that tribe, and that's what a dentist told me when he heard that I pulled out a bunch of my teeth. And watch the dentist you go to, by the way, kids. It's very important. If I would have watched the very first one that I went to, I would probably have half my teeth. It's not funny, but you go to there's positive dentists and negative dentists, and if you have a plan that says it's going to be up in like 2 weeks, and you tell the dentist, well, I want you to work on my teeth. I don't really have a problem or anything, and he takes out 7 of your teeth. Make sure you put them back in somehow. It's a domino theory, by the way. But this guy, I've got 4 of my teeth. I know 3 of them maybe could have been, I think they could have filled them, done a root canal or something, but no, you can just pull them out. And he says, my dad had teeth just like that. And I said, well, you know what? I want to see those teeth. And he only gave me 4. He wouldn't, he gave me, he says, well, see this? The root was going. We had to take that. You see this? And I said, there's nothing wrong with that root. He says, oh, yeah, they had to go. So I got those 4. And someday somebody's going to just look at them and say, did they really have to be taken out? That was my question. So when it came down to where I had to just have the rest of them taken out, I said, you know what? This is $125 a tooth. Heck, man, I could do this. And plus, I knew a Marine that said, well, when we were out there and we couldn't go to a dentist. We just got the pliers and we pull them out. I said, oh, really? You can do that? He said, yeah, 2 glasses of wine. You can do it that way. So I said, well, heck, if they're gonna take out the rest of them, I might as well take these. I might as well take these 11 out myself. So when I came back, the dentist said, where's all your teeth? I said, well, yeah, I just figured, because I was borrowing the money from my mom at the time. And I said, well, you know what, Mom? You're not going to have to pay for these. So he says, what'd you do? How'd you do that? And I said, well, the pliers weren't very handy. So I just, I had a couple glasses of wine. And then I went and got the needle nose. The needle nose just works fine. He said, really? You did that yourself? And then, and now hindsight, that's why he told me about the kids that had to get, he says, then it was like he wasn't going to be bested on this kind of a story. So that's when he told me the story about the village kids that had to go he says, yeah, well, it's a manhood thing, man. In the village, the kids go out with a spear. Before they do, they get a rock and smash out their 4 bottom teeth. I said, oh, really? No pliers, huh? Cosmic humor, I never said that. I went with the rock theory with him. So be careful on the dentist you do go to, kids, and you will never have to go to a dentist if you just listen to Uncle Martin. After your candy, brush your teeth, all right? And I'm so serious on that. You kids, or whoever you are out there that's left here, it is important that you brush your teeth. And I would go with the up and down rather than this way. If you have a preference, it'd probably be more positive. Oh boy, did I get done with this? I don't know how the teeth thing came in. It was just maybe the lion story. Yeah, thank you. The subconscious, you can think of it as a small child, very small child, that has to be worked with. A spoiled young child is your subconscious. That happens to be a mighty lion that's out of control, if you allow it. It's only you, when it's rising up to that fear or hatred or something negative. That's your subconscious telling you, hey, let's go for a ride. And you're going to say, hey, hold on there. Hey, let's relax a little bit. Hey, sit down, relax. Think about what we're doing here. Now look, and you can calmly discuss it with your subconscious saying, look, that guy didn't mean to step on your toes. It was an accident, all right? And then, oh, okay, I didn't think about it. It's different levels you can work with this. Whenever you get these feelings, you're actually you're working with yourselves. See, remember, we got our subconscious, we got our conscious, we got our higher self. And kids, everybody out there, you know what we're talking with right now, right? Our conscious, hopefully the lights are on and people are listening, they can't understand, what color dress was she wearing? Blue? I wasn't, the lights were on, I wasn't there, right? So I'm saying, when we're talking, we are monkey in the middle, not knowing about our subconscious or conscious until we recognize that we do have our subconscious and our higher self. Is all I'm saying. I don't know if I got anybody to where they can really understand. I know it went over your heads, a lot of you, so maybe I got about 3 to 7 mice left, maybe 11. Bless your hearts. Otherwise, I gotta say, I'm so sorry I ran out of time. I'll pick up with this as soon as I get back when I can. Until then, aloha! Be well.